Hi, and today is Monday, and the part of our book today we're going to read is called Aren't Doughnuts Healthy? Now, the last part of the chapter, Roman had gone to lunch and he wasn't very impressed with what was left. So let's see what he's got to say for himself. When I came back into the classroom after lunch, there was a terrible row going on by Mr. Wiggles. Gamble was looking confused and holding a half-eaten doughnut in his hand. Mrs. McDonald was looming over her. Him even. Her face was bright purple. A bit like my t-shirt. Bright purple. What do you mean? You were giving him a treat? She screamed. I noticed she had a tiny bubble-wrap waistcoat in her hand. Well, I thought he might like something nice to eat, shrugged Gamble. I thought you'd be pleased, miss. Inside the cage, I could see the fat guinea pig guzzling down the mangled up chunks of doughnut that Gamble must have posted through the bars. Mrs. McDonald opened the cage door and tried to take them off him. Ow! She screamed, suddenly yanking her hand out of the cage and shutting the door. She held her finger and shook her head. Mr. Wiggles has never bitten me before, never! Gamble shrugged again. He must have liked that doughnut, miss. Mrs. McDonald glared at him. I'm trying to get him to lose weight for the British Championships and you're stuffing him full of junk food? Excuse me. Give myself a sore throat shouting. Junk food? Asked Gamble, scratching an angry zit on his scalp. Oh, lovely. Doughnuts and zits. Aren't doughnuts healthy? What? Cried Mrs. McDonald. They're full of jam. Jam's fruit, innit? He said. Inside his cage, Mr. Wiggles was chomping the doughnut down like crazy, his jaws whizzing up and down like a pneumatic drill. Doughnuts are deep fried in oil and they're absolutely stuffed full of sugar, said Mrs. McDonald. Have you any idea what that much sugar could do to my delicate piggy wiggy? Well, this question was answered by Mr. Wiggles. He hovered? That'd be clever, wouldn't it? A hovering guinea pig. He hoovered up the last remaining crumbs of the doughnut and stood still for a moment, his head jerking from side to side. Then he just went completely nuts. Now, I've had a guinea pig that does that. Her name was Rosie, and she used to go a little bit nuts. I wonder why. It was terrifying. Mr. Wiggles charged round and round his cage in a whirlwind of sawdust and then flung himself against the bars. His eyes were wild and he was snapping at the metal with his teeth. There was red stuff all round his mouth, which was probably jam, but it did look a bit like blood. The whole cage was rattling. We all took a step backwards. Suddenly he flopped down and lay very still. Is he dead? Asked Miss Clegg. The guinea pig answered by snoring loudly. Whew. I get like that when I eat sugar, miss, said Gamble. That's why I like it. I go crazy wild and then I have a big sleep and it's all better. Mrs. McDonald snatched the remainder of the doughnut out of Gamble's hands and put it back in the gift bag and shoved it into the high cupboard above the sink where she keeps all the paints. Detention tomorrow, she growled. Oh, Mrs. McDonald, said Rosie Taylor, it's not all Darren's fault. Roman gave the doughnut to him. Mrs. McDonald, I only called her Mrs. Doughnut then. Mrs. got doughnuts on the brain. Must be nearly lunchtime. Mrs. McDonald turned towards me. Detention for you too. I wanted to explain how unfair this was, but suddenly Gamble grabbed me round the shoulder. Brilliant! Best mates in detention together. I put my head in my hands. All I wanted yesterday was to eat a donut. Just one innocent jam donut. And now here I was, forced to organise an old people's party with my greedy pig of a girlfriend who would stop at nothing for more sweet treats, and now in big trouble along with my new best mate who just happened to be completely nuts. That deadly donut was slowly ruining my life. Right, that's the end of that chapter. And the next one is called Evening, I Get Rich Temporarily. So we'll read that tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.